Hi everyone, welcome to today's video. In this lesson, we're going to learn about the life of Donald Trump. This will be a simple and easy to understand biography, great for practicing your English listening and reading skills. Let's get started. Early life and family. Donald Trump was born on June 14, 1946, in Queens, a large borough of New York City. His full name is Donald John Trump. Donald came from a big family. His father's name was Fred Trump, a very successful businessman who made a fortune by building houses and apartments in New York. His mother's name was Marion McLeod Trump, and she was originally from Scotland. Donald had 4 siblings, which means he was one of 5 children. He was the 4th child in the family. His siblings were Marianne, Fred Jr., Elizabeth, Robert. Even though Donald was raised in a wealthy family, his parents taught him the importance of working hard and being disciplined. Education in early years. Donald Trump began his education at Q Forest School in New York. However, when he was a teenager, his parents sent him to a military school called the New York Military Academy. They believed the school would help him become more disciplined, independent, and strong. Donald did well in military school and became more focused on his goals. After graduating, Donald went to Fordham University, a college in New York, where he studied for 2 years. He later transferred to the Wharton School of the University of Pennsylvania, which is known as one of the best business schools in the United States. He graduated in 1968 with a degree in economics. Business career begins. After finishing his education, Donald Trump began working for his father's company, called the Trump Organization. His father gave him a role in managing and growing the business. While Fred Trump had focused on building homes and apartments, Donald wanted to take the company in a new direction. He focused on larger, more high-profile projects. In the 1970s, Donald worked on his first big real estate project, the Commodore Hotel in New York City. The hotel was struggling, but Donald worked with others to renovate and rebrand it. Eventually, it reopened as a Grand Hyatt Hotel and became a huge success. This project made Donald Trump well known in the business world. Rise to fame. In the 1980s, Donald Trump became even more ambitious. He started building large and famous skyscrapers, including the Trump Tower, a huge glass building located on 5th Avenue in New York City. Trump Tower became one of the most famous buildings in the world and is still visited by tourists today. Donald also invested in casinos in Atlantic City, New Jersey. At one point, he owned multiple casinos and made a lot of money through them. By now, Donald Trump was not just known as a businessman. He became a public figure. He appeared often on television, in magazines, and in the news. People recognized his name, his face, and his unique style. In the early 2000s, Donald Trump became even more famous through his TV show called The Apprentice. On the show, he acted as a boss who judged contestants' business skills. He became known for his famous catchphrase, "You're fired." This show was a big success and helped Donald Trump become a household name across America and other countries. Personal life and family. Donald Trump has been married 3 times and has 5 children. First marriage, Ivana Trump. In 1977, Donald married Ivana Trump, born Ivana Zelnkov, a model originally from Czechoslovakia, now the Czech Republic. Ivana also helped Donald with his business. They had 3 children together. Donald Trump Jr., born 1977. Ivanka Trump, born 1981. Eric Trump, born 1984. Donald and Ivana divorced in 1992 after 15 years of marriage. Even though they separated, they remained close for the sake of their children. Second marriage, Marla Maples. In 1993, Donald married Marla Maples, an American actress. They had 1 daughter named Tiffany Trump, born 1993. However, this marriage was short-lived. They divorced in 1999. Third marriage, Melania Trump. In 2005, Donald married Melania Trump, born Melania Naus, a model from Slovenia. They have 1 son together, named Baron Trump, born in 2006. Baron is the youngest of Donald's children. Donald Trump's children. Donald Trump has 5 children. Donald Jr. works in the Trump Organization. Ivanka was a businesswoman and advisor when Donald was president. She is married to Jared Kushner, and they have children. Eric also works in the family business and is married with kids. Tiffany studied law and often appears at events with the Trump family. Barron, still a student and lives with his mother, Melania. Donald Trump is also a grandfather, with several grandchildren from his older children. He enjoys spending time with his family and watching them grow. Building an empire. From a young age, Donald Trump worked hard to expand his family's business. He took risks, started new projects, and built a real estate empire. His first major success was a renovation of the Commodore Hotel, which turned into the Grand Hyatt. This was just the beginning of many successful deals and bold projects. From real estate to reality TV, Donald Trump's rise to fame. After his early success with the Commodore Hotel, which was renamed the Grand Hyatt Hotel, Donald Trump quickly became a well-known name in New York City. This project marked his first major breakthrough in the real estate world and made him a rising star in the business community. In 1983, Donald Trump completed one of his most famous buildings, Trump Tower, located on Fifth Avenue in New York City. At the time, it was one of the tallest and most luxurious buildings in the city. Trump Tower had both offices and high-end apartments, with shiny glass walls and gold decorations. It became a symbol of Trump's wealth and ambition. People walking through Manhattan could now see his name in big gold letters, a sign of his growing empire. By the mid-1980s, Donald Trump continued expanding. He entered the casino business by buying hotels and casinos in Atlantic City, New Jersey, a city known for gambling and tourism. His biggest project there was the Trump Taj Mahal, which opened in 1990. At the time, it was the largest casino in the world and cost over $1 billion to build. Though the casino was impressive, it had problems making money. Donald Trump faced financial challenges and had to work hard to keep his businesses afloat. Despite the struggles, Donald stayed focused. He didn't stop with casinos and buildings. Instead, he started to build a global brand. He used his name, Trump, as a powerful marketing tool. He placed it on hotels, skyscrapers, golf courses, and other properties, not just in the United States but all around the world. His name became a symbol of luxury, money, and success, becoming a media icon. In the 1990s, Donald Trump became even more famous, not just for real estate, but for his celebrity status. He started appearing on talk shows, TV programs, and magazine covers. People were fascinated by his bold personality, his big lifestyle, and his direct way of speaking. He became known as someone who spoke his mind and lived a life of luxury. But Donald Trump's biggest media success came in 2004 when he became the host of a new reality TV show called The Apprentice. On this show, contestants competed in business-related challenges. Each week, Donald would judge their work and decide who would stay or leave the competition. His catchphrase, "You're fired," became famous all over the world. Millions of people tuned in every week to watch the show. It was not just about business. It was about drama, competition, and leadership. The show made Donald Trump even more of a household name and introduced him to younger generations. It ran for several seasons and was one of the most watched shows on TV. During this time, his company, the Trump Organization, continued to grow. It owned hotels, golf resorts, residential towers, and luxury properties in many countries. Whether it was a tower in Chicago or a golf course in Scotland, the Trump name was always front and center. Financial ups and downs. Even though Donald Trump became very successful, not everything went smoothly. In the 1990s, he had some major financial troubles. Some of his casinos and hotels weren't earning enough money. At one point, he was deeply in debt and owed hundreds of millions of dollars to banks and other lenders. Still, Donald Trump refused to give up. He worked hard to restructure his businesses, made deals with investors, and found ways to survive the financial storm. Over time, he was able to recover and bring his company back to success. These challenges became a big part of his public story. He showed himself as someone who could fall down, but get back up again. His ability to bounce back from failure helped build his image as a strong, confident leader. Interest in politics. By the 2000s, Donald Trump had built a powerful brand and a reputation as a tough businessman and media personality. But he also began showing more interest in politics. Over the years, he made public comments about government, policy, and the direction of the country. He even mentioned several times that he was thinking about running for president, though he didn't take any official steps for a long time. Some people saw these statements as jokes or ways to get attention, but Donald seemed serious. He spoke about wanting to fix problems in the country and make America strong again. Running for president. In June 2015, everything changed. Donald Trump held a press conference at Trump Tower and officially announced that he was running for president of the United States. His campaign slogan was, "Make America Great Again." Many people were surprised. Donald Trump had never held a political office before. He was a businessman, not a traditional politician, but he believed his background in business could help him run the country efficiently. During the campaign, Donald spoke about creating more jobs, cutting taxes, building a wall on the southern border to stop illegal immigration, and being tough on trade with countries like China. His speeches were often controversial, and people either strongly supported or strongly opposed him. But his message was clear. He wanted to change the way Washington worked and represent the forgotten people of America. He ran as a Republican and faced many competitors in the Republican primary. One by one, he defeated them. Eventually, he became the Republican Party's official nominee for president, winning the election. In the general election of 2016, Donald Trump ran against Hillary Clinton, the former Secretary of State and First Lady. Most polls and experts predicted that Hillary would win. But on November 8, 2016, Donald Trump surprised the world by winning the Electoral College and becoming the 45th President of the United States. His victory shocked many people. He had never been a politician before, yet he had won the highest office in the country. Supporters said he would bring a fresh voice and new ideas. Critics worried about his lack of political experience. Still, Donald Trump had done what few believed was possible. He had gone from a real estate developer and TV star to President of the United States. Donald Trump officially became the 45th President of the United States on January 20, 2017. His presidency lasted until January 20, 2021. During those 4 years, he made many changes and faced several major events. Some of these decisions were popular, while others sparked debates. His presidency left a big mark on both the country and the world. Let's take a closer look at the major things Donald Trump did while he was president. 1. Improving the economy. One of Donald Trump's main goals was to make the U.S. economy stronger. He believed that lowering taxes would help businesses grow and create more jobs. In 2017, he signed the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act, which reduced taxes for both individuals and companies. Trump argued that if businesses paid less in taxes, they would hire more workers and increase wages. During the first few years of his presidency, the stock market rose and unemployment rates went down. Many people felt the economy was doing well, especially before the COVID-19 pandemic hit in 2020. 2. Immigration and border security. Another big promise Donald Trump made during his campaign was to be tough on immigration. His most famous promise was to build a wall on the border between the United States and Mexico. The goal was to stop people from entering the country illegally. While he did not build the entire wall, many miles of fencing and barriers were added or improved during his time in office. He also changed many rules about who could enter the country and made it harder for people to seek asylum. These immigration policies were strongly supported by his fans but criticized by others. 3. Foreign relations. Donald Trump also made many changes to how the U.S. interacted with other countries. One of the most surprising moments of his presidency was his meeting with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un. They held several meetings and talked about stopping the development of nuclear weapons. Trump also had tough talk with China and imposed new tariffs, which are taxes on goods coming from other countries. He said this would help protect American businesses. His style of speaking directly and challenging world leaders was different from past presidents. He also had mixed relationships with leaders from Russia and Europe, often choosing to put American interests first. This approach was called America First and became a key part of his policies. 4. Healthcare. Healthcare was another major topic during Trump's time as president. He wanted to get rid of the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare, which had been created under former President Barack Obama. Trump and the Republican Party tried to replace it with a new system, but they couldn't get enough support in Congress. Even though he didn't fully repeal Obamacare, Donald Trump made changes to some of its parts. He removed the penalty for people who did not buy health insurance and gave states more control over their health care programs. 5. Impeachment. In 2019, Donald Trump became the third president in U.S. history to be impeached by the House of Representatives. He was accused of abusing his power by asking Ukraine to investigate Joe Biden, who would later become his opponent in the 2020 election. However, the Senate, which was controlled by Trump's party at the time, did not vote to remove him from office. So he stayed president and continued to lead the country. Later, in 2021, Trump was impeached a second time, this time for inciting a riot. That made him the only president in U.S. history to be impeached twice. Again, the Senate did not remove him. The 2020 election and aftermath. In 2020, Donald Trump ran for a second term as president. His opponent was Joe Biden, who had served as vice president under Barack Obama. The campaign was intense, and the country was facing big challenges like the COVID-19 pandemic and racial protests. After the election, Joe Biden won both the popular vote and the Electoral College. But Donald Trump and many of his supporters claimed that the election was unfair or stolen, even though no real evidence of cheating was found by courts or election officials. On January 6, 2021, a group of Trump supporters stormed the U.S. Capitol in Washington, D.C. They tried to stop Congress from officially counting the votes that confirmed Joe Biden's win. This event was known as the Capitol riot, and it was a dark day in American history. People around the world watched in shock. Despite the events, on January 20, 2021, Joe Biden was sworn in as the 46th president. Donald Trump did not attend the inauguration, becoming one of the few presidents in history to skip that ceremony. Instead, he left the White House quietly that morning and flew to his home in Florida. Life after the presidency. After leaving office, Donald Trump returned to his business empire. He still owns many hotels, resorts, golf courses, and real estate properties. Even though he was no longer in the White House, he remained a powerful voice in the Republican Party. He often held rallies, gave speeches, and continued to speak about the 2020 election. He stayed in the public eye and kept talking about American politics. Many of his supporters hoped he would run for president again in the future. In 2022 and 2023, Trump began making moves to possibly run again in the 2024 election. He announced that he would seek the presidency once more, and he began building a new campaign. Some Americans were excited about this, while others felt the country should move on with new leadership. A lasting legacy. Donald Trump remains one of the most famous and talked about figures in modern history. His life has gone from a rich boy in New York to a billionaire businessman, a TV celebrity, and eventually president of the United States. He is known for his strong personality, confidence, and the way he never gives up, even when facing tough times. Whether people agree with his views or not, they cannot ignore his impact on the country. His supporters believe he stood up for ordinary Americans and challenged a broken political system. His critics believe he caused division and controversy. But one thing is clear: Donald Trump changed the way politics works in America. He showed that someone from outside the system could reach the highest level of power. His story is one of risk, ambition, controversy, and determination. Even after losing the 2020 election, Donald Trump has stayed in the spotlight. His businesses continue, his followers remain loyal, and his name is still in the news almost every day. His life proves that with hard work, boldness, and belief in yourself, it's possible to reach the top no matter how many obstacles you face. If you liked the video, then like it and also press the button of subscribe. This is a sign of your love. Goodbye.